For me, product quality in photovoltaics means that the revenues I promised the customer can be generated for 20 years or more. As I've invested a large amount of money in my photovoltaic system, product quality is very important because my plant has to function for long amounts of time. I'm extremely pleased with my PV plant and the return so far.
IBC Solar's customer is the one who ultimately decides what quality means, what our installers desire, and what helps them to sell products better.
I'm a full-time farmer and have been searching for a second income to secure my livelihood. With the renewable energy law in Germany, my electricity rate is guaranteed for 20 years.
The process of manufacturer's qualification is very complex. First, we check that the supplier fits with us well. Then we make a site visit and conduct a factory inspection. Next, we ask more detailed questions. We make sure that the environmental conditions are acceptable, the work area is safe, and that the IT standards are assured. Finally, the modules are manufactured according to our specification and sent to Bad Staffelstein for testing. If all these conditions are met, only then do we start a long-term partnership with the supplier. We are located at our company's testing plant. Since 2004, we have been testing a variety of solar modules in real time. This allows us to compare various systems with one another. If the modules prove to be good under real conditions, we give the OK and add the solar modules into our product portfolio.
The Fraunhofer Institute for Solar Energy Systems is the largest solar research institute in Europe. We have 1,100 employees at our location in Freiburg and conduct research in all fields of solar energy, from the development of solar cells to the thermal use of solar energy and also its efficient use in buildings. Aside from long-term tests, we regularly carry out sample inspections for the components from IBC. We also supported IBC Solar in establishing its own measuring laboratory. For this lab, we implemented the appropriate quality assurance measures.
The flash test works like this. A flash, which simulates sunlight, is directed at the solar module to measure its performance. These results can be saved directly onto a PC desktop. Using these measurements, we know if the performance really does equate to what the customer paid for his solar module. At the same time, we take another recording from the module with two electroluminescence cameras. These recordings are comparable to an X-ray. We use them to see the inner life of the solar module. We can even detect cracks that are as thin as hairs. With these two tests, we know that our solar modules are working correctly and can be delivered to our customers with no problems.
For the customers and for us, the advantage of an IBC solar photovoltaics plant is that our products are tested for quality before being sent to the customer. These quality assurance measures enable sustainable management for us and for the customer.
Here at IBC Solar, we use climate chambers to test whether our solar modules can withstand particular environmental conditions, such as extremely high temperatures and high humidity. In one climate chamber, the solar modules must withstand over 1,000 hours in a temperature of 85 degrees Celsius and humidity of 85%. In the other climate chamber, we conduct a temperature cycle test. That means that our modules are subjected to temperatures changing between -40 degrees Celsius and +85 degrees Celsius. If at any point something is not working with the solar module, we know that we must immediately take action with our suppliers.
Quality standards are important to me because they mean security for the investment I've made. The components from IBC Solar are constantly tested. It's because of this that they have a long lifetime and high revenues. For me, it's also important that I have a reliable contact because IBC Solar has its own service department. If something actually went wrong with my plant, or if, for example, my installer went out of business, then I know who to call.
Weiß ich, wen ich anrufen kann.
Even if the supplier has been qualified by us, the products are still regularly inspected upon arrival. That means that we take a sample from the delivery and perform a visual inspection. The modules are looked at and we ensure that the cell colors are consistent and that the dimensions are correct. In other words, the height, width, and diagonal length of the module must also be accurate. Simultaneously, we check the performance of the module. The measured flash value must match the information on the label. Only when all of these criteria are met do we accept the batch, and the modules may be delivered to our customers.
It's worth investing in photovoltaics. Because of photovoltaics, rising energy costs don't affect me as much. For more information, visit ibcsolar.com.